South Australia and the blood bank staff who are hosting us this afternoon. I'd like to welcome our honourable guests, Elizabeth Miller, member for Bentley, David Southey, member for Caulfield, and Jamie Hines, the Mayor of the City of Jumeirah. Thank you for taking the time, for joining us today, and to basically show appreciation to the blood bank for the fantastic work they do every day. You can see all these wonderful people here who are here to donate blood and plasma to save lives. But for a gift of life, we're here especially because the blood bank is facilitating testing for the bone marrow registry, which I've personally been involved for over 20 years as a former patient who needed such treatment, and luckily I didn't go through ahead with it, but I'm still around to pursue it. And Esther is here. She was tested for me, and she donated to someone else, a young girl who's how long was that? 6-7 years ago?
In 2006 she was 15, and now she's just 21.
21.
Wow.
Yes. And we have Craig Rosen with us, who donated on Monday stem cells, and I was involved in facilitating the session on Saturday in 2007. His wife and himself were tested, and Craig was he won the draw. Lucky. So basically, we just want to acknowledge the fantastic work that the blood bank and the Red Cross and the bone marrow, which is all basically under the Red Cross, is doing. And for the community, the local community here, we are within the community. And Judith just told me that since the last couple of sessions, already 3 matches have been found, which I didn't know about, because I'm not privy to all the information. Unless Greg would have told me, I wouldn't know. But it's all a matter of privacy. They try and make sure that the patients and the donors don't know each other until, of course, the patient is well enough to meet the donor, and that's quite a few years down the track. So we just want to just acknowledge and thank you, and hope we'll be able to find many more matches, and the ideal is to save lives. So Craig has been generous enough to come. Not many people do want to come forward and basically talk about his journey, and it wasn't always smooth sailing. So please, Craig.
So it's pretty new for me, considering I only had the procedure on Monday. Today is Wednesday. But I guess that's the question that everybody asks me when they see me come out is amazing. What made you decide to do it? So I think it's probably a case of, maybe the question is what makes someone not do it. The fact is, and it's not me specifically, because I don't think I'm anybody special. I'm one of thousands of people that have been put on the registry. I was just maybe fortunate enough that I was a match for somebody overseas. When they rang me up, I guess there was never a doubt in my mind when they rang me 3 months ago and said, we want to go for the testing, will you be willing to proceed? There was no question. I think you can compare it. I mean, I think humans have probably an instinct in them to save another human being. So we always see the stories about it. Somebody drives past a house and they see that there's flames coming out of the roof, and they go and smash the window and grab a child out of the window, and they say, wow, the person's a hero. But in actual fact, I mean, they are a hero, but they were lucky enough maybe to be put in that position at that point in time to be able to be the hero. So I think I was very lucky I was put in that position. Thank God there was a match for the person. Being in a minority sort of ethnic background, a Jewish background, we are very limited with matches for people, because that's how it does work according to your genes. So there's an overseas patient who's very ill, who now will hopefully have the best chance he has to I guess, live a longer life. So, I mean, in summary, I really don't think that I did anything above and beyond what maybe anybody else in the position would be asked to do.
What was it like, Craig, when they found you? What did you feel?
The first thing I thought was, I actually thought that it's fantastic.
Weren't you afraid?
No. I am a blood donor. I've donated whole blood, I've donated platelets, I've donated plasma, and so now I have the opportunity to donate stem cells. So I think I'm pretty used to the needle in the arm.
So you actually experienced it firsthand as a recipient at 18?
And so when I was 18, I did receive a blood donation, and what was a life-saving situation for me. I was pretty unwell from an accident, so I knew that there was, an awareness in me that we can give, and blood donation is a very small thing to do. And so I started with blood donations. They rang me and asked me to do platelets. They since then asked me if I could do plasma, which takes a bit of more commitment, which I was happy to do, and I have done quite a few plasmas. And I had no hesitation when Gift of Life sent an email around, probably, well, when at the time, 7 years ago, they were doing a launch to try and find more people in the registry. I didn't really think twice about it, because, firstly they said there was probably a 1 in 20,000 chance getting called up, so that didn't help. All it was a small blood test at the time, but I really did have no hesitation that if I was a match, that I would step up and help somebody. I think I'm humbled by the opportunity to help somebody, and also to give, even though they are desperately sick, and the stem cell may or may not ultimately work for them. I think giving them having found a donor that matches can give the family and then comfort that ultimately everything was done for their patient, and that the family can never turn around and wonder was their match. So going forward, I have said to Gifford I'd like to be more involved in Gift of Life. I think if we can arrange just a bit of publicity, maybe get more people involved, get them to really just step up, and what it is at the end of the day is just a simple blood test with a very, very small chance of being called up. And if you are called up, as you can see, I had the procedure on Monday. I'm standing on Wednesday with not really any side effects, so it's not a big deal. I think people are very concerned about needles, procedures and that, but really it's, if you compare what you're getting out of it and what somebody else potentially is getting out of it, I think nobody should be afraid to put their name on the registry.
I'll just briefly say a few words, and firstly, if I could recognise my parliamentary colleague Elizabeth Miller, who I know has been down here on other occasions and seen the great work of the blood bank, and to Mayor Jamie Hyams for his work in the area, especially to Judy and to Doug, and what I first made mention coming into this facility. I'm very lucky being the member for Caulfield, having such a great facility within my electorate, and unfortunately haven't had the opportunity to visit up until now, so it's certainly, I wanted to thank the Gift of Life for giving me the opportunity to come down and see firsthand, which I'm looking forward to shortly get the opportunity to have a good look around the centre and do whatever we can to promote more people to come in and to give blood. Particularly to Gift of Life, to Yehuda and the team, to Craig's story, which we've just heard. It is absolutely so important, so vital, the work that you are doing. I know in my current role as Parliamentary Secretary for Police and Emergency Services, saving lives is certainly part and parcel of what we look to do every single day in some of the policy legislation and activities moving forward. And so when we hear the stories of Craig's today, and just how one person can really make such a difference, and the importance of actually getting that story, your story, out of the way to others, is really something that we all need to do, and Elizabeth and I will do our bit to ensure that happens, and I'm sure Jamie will as well, in terms of locally and in other ways as well. Also want to thank my wife, Hayley, who was a donor and involved in the program. I unfortunately just slipped out of the age group of being able to give, but she certainly took up on behalf of the family in being part of the registry, and just again call on others to get involved, and thank those that have got involved in the program, and just congratulate you and commend you all on the fantastic work that you do, and thank you for having us here.
The award. You've got to get one of the now. It's lying here on the desk. Sorry. Yeah. It's on video on what it's yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judith, for your support, and we got this new home because we've been traveling, we've been the one bringing you around Caulfield. We can find our place here and all our guests. It will be fantastic.
Well, just say a few things on behalf of the audit, because he's had to coordinate an awful lot of people to be able to come in and enroll with the bone marrow registry. And they've been really successful sessions overall, haven't they? And with an outcome like he's told you today, it's a pretty amazing thing. And the bone marrow registry does rely on really diverse donors. Diversity is the key, because as we've heard today, you can find out that there's somebody who's needing your help somewhere in the world. And that's what the registry does. It's an international registry, so they can help support a lot of people. And the other really good thing that New God has done with, not directly, but we actually took the opportunity to recruit lots of donors, blood donors as well. So a lot of people that came in to register that day have also become blood donors. So it's a fantastic outcome for everybody. And at this time of year, being winter and snuffles and chills, the more people that we have donating, the better. So we're really looking forward to the public holidays at Queen's Birthday weekend that everybody comes in. And you've heard Esther reference, she's one of our fantastic donors who donates whatever we need when we need it, from plasma to platelets to red cells. So she's a pretty amazing person too. So
I think Craig is also one of your customers.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Your plasma donor too, Craig. So amazing things that people do, and every day it just stuns me that people will give us all the time to help others. So it's fantastic. We really, really appreciate it. And also the appreciation certificate, we're going to have it right here where you see it, so that a lot of people can actually see that the community's got really involved in behind this. So fantastic. Really nice to hear your story today, Craig. I really appreciate it.
We'd like to do more stories like that, and we want to hear the patients would like to hear their stories a few years after this. So I think that's the ultimate, really.
That would be.
Yeah.
And as Esther sort of knows, she can keep track of her person that she's helped. So that's pretty interesting. So thanks everybody for coming. We really appreciate you here. And for the others that would like to tour around the centre, I'm more than happy to do that for you. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.